Hey everyone, it's morning coffee time. We are going to be continuing on the logical fallacy path today. And today we're going to get into begging the question. And this is a touchy one, but one that I like because it kind of ties in a few others. And I'm just going to launch right into what the poster says, and then we'll talk about it a bit. Begging the question is a circular argument in which the conclusion is included in the premise. This logically incoherent argument often arises in situations where people have an assumption that is very ingrained, and therefore taken in their minds as a given. Circular reasoning is bad mostly because it's not very good. And here's the example, and I actually like this example. The word of Zorbo the Great is flawless and perfect. We know this because it says so in the great and infallible book of Zorbo's best and most truest things that are definitely true and should not ever be questioned. And I think that hits on a sensitive subject, and that's why I like this one, because obviously they're making an example of religion. And I'm not one to say that one religion is more true or correct than the other, or that any religions are true or correct or not. But what I do like about this example is that it's trying to tell you that you can't just rely on something purely that's because that's what your religion says, right? Either that's what your leadership says, or that's what the book you read says. And the reason I like this is because all of these logical fallacies kind of tie into the same thing, that you should be thinking for and coming up with your own thoughts based off of evidence that you can find and items that you can, I guess, logically explain, right? If you ever get to the point, and this is like probably the most important point of this post, if you get to the point where your only response or your only reason for believing something or thinking that something is true is because you have to have faith, then you need to do two things. One, you need to either rethink what you believe, or two, you need to dig deeper into the data and facts and logical explanations until you can really explain why you believe what you believe. And I'm not saying that you don't have a right to believe something because you have faith that it exists, but I think what I'm trying to tell you is don't ever blindly just believe something because you have to have faith. Try and explain it, try and logically think through it and see if it makes sense to you. And if you can get to the point where you believe that logically, yes, this makes sense, then you're in a good spot. But if you get to that point where it's just, well, we have to believe this because this is what I've been told or taught to believe since I was a kid, that's not a good sound foundation for a belief or an argument. So just think about that in your life. If you've got anything that you want to find ways to help prove or disprove, go ahead and send me a message or comment on any of the platforms that we post these videos. And until next time, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you again on Friday.